Welcome! Okay, so today we're unpacking a really fantastic piece of source material that tackles something, honestly, incredibly common but rarely talked about openly. We're doing a deep dive explainer on overcoming the fear of starting a new business. Some of the biggest companies in the world almost never existed. Even titans like Airbnb and MailChimp, their founders were once completely paralyzed by the exact same fear that you might be feeling right now. If you're tuning into this explainer, chances are you've got some brilliant entrepreneurial ambitions. You've got that spark, that drive, but there's this invisible wall stopping you. I want to start by just validating that feeling right out of the gate. It is completely natural. Let's break down exactly what this source material tells us about conquering that hesitation.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, New Business and Fear, and look at conquering that hesitation.
So, you're sitting on a brilliant idea, right? But man, the distance between having that idea and actually executing it, it can feel like a massive canyon. The source text hits the nail on the head here by addressing the specific anxieties that paralyze us. Is it the fear that your hard-earned money will just sink? Or maybe you're absolutely terrified you won't be able to handle the intense market competition out there? Just imagine launching a boutique coffee brand and then suddenly feeling completely overshadowed by global giants or even just established local cafes. That fear of being instantly crushed is palpable. It's deeply real. If you're nodding your head right now, I really need you to hear this. You are absolutely not alone. The text emphasizes that feeling afraid when starting a new venture is a completely natural human response. It doesn't mean you're weak, it actually just means you care deeply about the outcome.
But here's where we kind of need to reframe our thinking. If you stop due to fear, the world loses a great idea. Actually, let's try a quick thought experiment. Think about your absolute favorite app on your phone, or a product that just makes your daily life infinitely better. Got it? Now imagine if the inventor of that product had given into their fear and decided, you know what, it's just too risky to launch. That is the opportunity cost of fear. It's not just about you avoiding a potential failure, it's about the entire world being deprived of your unique contribution. Giving into that fear means a fantastic product, a helpful service, or a total game-changing innovation literally never sees the light of day. That's a pretty profound thought to hold on to as we move forward.
Moving right along to Section 2, the root causes of fear. Why exactly are we so terrified to take that initial leap?
Well, to defeat an enemy, you've got to understand it first, right? The source breaks this paralysis down into two core fundamental reasons. First up, there's the fear of societal judgment, the classic "what will people say?" We are social creatures by nature, and the text highlights how deeply we fear the mockery that might come if we fail. We're just terrified of society's judgment. But then there's this fascinating biological reality at play. The human brain's demand for 100% guarantee. When we don't know if a business is going to succeed or not, our brain absolutely hates that uncertainty. In fact, the amygdala, that's the part of your brain responsible for the fight or flight response, literally processes business uncertainty the exact same way it processes physical danger. It actually creates physical panic and anxiety in our bodies when it lacks a guaranteed outcome. So, you aren't just fighting doubt, you are quite literally fighting your own biology.
Now for the good stuff. Section 3, 3 golden rules for success, and how we actually defeat this fear. We're shifting gears now from that psychological agitation to pure empowerment. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the source transitions from diagnosing the problem to actually handing us the cure. It lays out 3 golden ways to defeat fear. Number 1, market research. Number 2, crafting a business plan. And number 3, letting go of the illusion of control. Now, I know these might sound like standard corporate buzzwords, but the text presents them as magical, actionable weapons against the very anxieties we were just talking about. Let's break each one of these down so you can use them as your own personal strategy.
Okay, so Rule 1 is market research. The text notes that the absolute greatest weapon against uncertainty is information. Think about it. You wouldn't just wander into a pitch-black, unfamiliar cave without a flashlight, would you? Of course not. Market research is that flashlight. If your brain is panicking because it doesn't know what's going to happen, feed it data. By actively gathering market data and truly understanding what your customers need, you shrink that giant, scary unknown into something measurable and manageable. And tying it back to our biology for a second, replacing that uncertainty with hard facts actively lowers the cortisol levels in your brain. It is the first and honestly most essential step to quieting your mind and overriding that primal panic.
And this brilliantly illustrates the second rule, which involves creating a very specific type of business plan. The source advises keeping a diary and making a stark, distinct list. On one side, you write down the things entirely in your control, like your hard work, the effort you put in every day, and the quality of your product. On the other side, you list the things completely out of your control, like national circumstances or the broader economy. Think about today's digital landscape, for example. You absolutely cannot control a sudden algorithm change on social media or some global supply chain issue. But you can control the quality of the customer service emails you send out today. You can control the care you put into your packaging. The directive here is crystal clear. Start working strictly on what you can manage. Stop burning your precious mental energy on factors you literally cannot change.
Which brings us to the final rule. Let go of the illusion of control and focus your mind on today. The crucial point here is that you can never, ever control your circumstances 100%. The text empowers us by stating that taking the first step, despite the fear, is the true beginning of success. This is the whole concept of doing it scared. You see, bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action in the face of it. If you wait around until you're completely unafraid, well, you're going to be waiting forever. So instead of stressing over an unpredictable future that honestly might never even happen, laser focus your mind on what you can execute right now, today.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct question straight from the text to really ponder. What are you most afraid of when it comes to starting a new business? Is it the tangible fear of financial loss, or is it that invisible heavy weight of what people will say? Identifying your specific fear is step one to dismantling it, using those 3 rules we just covered. Because once you name the fear, it completely loses its power over you. Think about it. I'd love to invite you to share your answers in the comments below, because bringing these fears out into the light is exactly how we defeat them together. Thank you so much for diving into this material with me today, and until next time, keep learning, keep planning, and go take that first step.